Take a deep breath. Right now, your lungs are full of an invisible gas. It's all around you, in every breath, completely free. And here is something almost impossible to believe. That very air you just breathed in can be turned into food, real bread, the kind you can hold and eat. In fact, the air is the reason half the people alive on Earth today are able to eat at all. This sounds like magic, it isn't. Let me show you how we make bread out of thin air. First, the secret hiding in the air. The air around you is not mostly oxygen like most people think. Nearly 80% of it is a different gas. Nitrogen. And nitrogen is something every living thing desperately needs. Your body needs it. Plants need it. It's a basic building block of all life. So here's the strange part. We are surrounded by an ocean of nitrogen. It's in every single breath. And yet, for almost all of history, life was starving for it. Why? Because nitrogen in the air is locked. The two nitrogen atoms hold on to each other with one of the strongest bonds in all of nature. They grip so tightly that plants simply cannot use it. It's like being surrounded by food sealed inside unbreakable glass, so close and completely out of reach. For thousands of years, this was the great limit on humanity. Farmers could only grow so much because the soil could only hold so much usable nitrogen. When it ran out, crops failed, people went hungry, the whole world was trapped by an invisible ceiling. Then a little over 100 years ago, two scientists cracked the code. They found a way to break that unbreakable bond and pull nitrogen straight out of the sky. So step one, you gather air. Just plain ordinary air full of that locked nitrogen. And you also take hydrogen, which we can pull from water or natural gas. Step two is brute force. To rip those nitrogen atoms apart, you need extreme conditions. You squeeze the gases together under crushing pressure, hundreds of times stronger than the air at sea level. Then you heat them to hundreds of degrees, and you pass them over a special metal that acts like a helper, coaxing the stubborn atoms to finally let go. And under that incredible pressure and heat, something that took nature billions of years to figure out finally happens. The nitrogen breaks free, joins with the hydrogen, and forms a brand new substance, ammonia. The locked treasure of the air finally opened. Step 3. That ammonia becomes fertilizer. You spread it onto the fields, and suddenly the soil is rich with the one ingredient plants were always missing. The crops explode with growth. Wheat grows tall and thick, and that wheat becomes flour, and that flour becomes the bread on your table. So trace it backwards. The bread you eat came from wheat. The wheat grew because of fertilizer. The fertilizer was made from nitrogen, and that nitrogen came from the air. You are quite literally eating the sky. Now here's the number that should stop you cold. Scientists estimate that without this one invention, this single trick of pulling food from the air, around half the people on the planet right now simply could not be fed. Billions of lives depend on it. You may have never heard of it, but it might be the most important thing anyone has ever built. And like everything powerful, it carries a shadow. Pulling food from the air uses enormous amounts of energy, and the fertilizer can harm rivers and the climate when we use too much. The same discovery that feeds billions also strains the very planet growing the wheat. It is a gift and a warning at the same time. But take a moment to sit with the wonder of it. For almost all of human history, hunger was a wall we could not climb. Empires rose and fell by how much food the dirt could give. And then, we looked up at the empty air, the one thing we always took for granted, and we learned to harvest it. We reached into nothing and pulled out bread. So the next time you take a slow, deep breath, remember, you're breathing in the same invisible stuff that becomes the food that keeps the world alive. The air isn't empty. It never was. It's a hidden field, growing the next meal for billions of people. We didn't find this food. We didn't dig it up. We invented a way to make it appear, from the one thing that was always endlessly free. If that amazed you even a little, subscribe. Because there is a whole universe of impossible things hiding inside the ordinary world around you, and we are just getting started.